welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something pretty much all of us interact with, maybe multiple times a day. Mobile gaming.
That's right. Phones in our pockets, games on our phone.
Exactly. And we've gathered some really interesting perspectives on how these games went from, those basic features on early mobiles to this absolutely massive global industry they are now.
It's quite the transformation.
So our mission for you in this deep dive is really to understand the key reasons why mobile gaming is so popular and maybe some of the surprising ways it affects our lives beyond just, killing time.
Yeah, it goes much deeper than just entertainment. We're looking at how it got so pervasive and what the broader implications really are.
Okay, let's start with that first big idea from our sources.
Yeah?
The democratization of gaming.
Right. Think way back, those first mobile games, maybe Snake or a simple puzzle. Very basic stuff.
Totally. And now we have these incredibly rich, complex games right in our pockets. Some look and play like they belong on a dedicated console.
So what drove that massive change?
Well, the sources point to a couple of big things. App stores, for one.
Yeah. Central marketplaces. Easy access. Made a huge difference compared to finding and loading games before.
And the other big one is the free-to-play model. That seems crucial.
Definitely. Lowered the barrier right down. You could try tons of games without paying anything up front.
That combination just opened the floodgates, didn't it? Suddenly, gaming wasn't just for people with consoles or PCs.
Exactly. Our sources really emphasize this point. It put gaming within reach of billions globally. Billions.
It's hard to even picture that scale.
Yeah.
It's not niche anymore. It's just part of how huge numbers of people relax and connect.
And what are the knock-on effects of that, of having so many people playing?
Well, for you, if you're interested in understanding these big global shifts, it's massive. It changed how games are designed. Developers now aim for a much broader audience.
Different tastes, different time commitments.
Right. And it also brought in new ways to make money, like those in-app purchases or ads, instead of just selling the game itself.
So that accessibility is really the bedrock for everything else we're seeing with mobile gaming's impact.
It brings us to the next point, just how integrated it all is. It's not just available. It's woven into our daily lives, almost invisible sometimes.
Yeah, that ubiquity is fascinating. It connects billions of people, all ages, all backgrounds. Think about it playing a quick game on the commute during a coffee break.
Or how kids might use educational games, or how we use gamified apps for fitness or learning languages.
It influences how we socialize, how we learn, how we entertain ourselves. It's just there, part of the flow.
There's that quote from Benedict Evans we saw. The mobile phone is not a device, it's how we live.
That really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it?
It does. Our phones are so central.
Yeah.
And mobile gaming is a huge part of that phone experience for so many. It's just part of modern life and how we find amusement.
So for you, the listener, it kind of highlights just how fundamental these little devices are to our whole way of being now.
And building on that, this deep integration really shapes how we socialize too, right? It's not just playing alone in a corner anymore.
Not at all. That's a huge shift. Think about all the multiplayer mobile games out there now.
Yeah, playing together, cooperating on challenges, or competing against each other.
These games actively push you to interact with other players. It builds a kind of community, shared goals, rivalries.
A sense of camaraderie, even with people you've never met in person.
And the mobile platform just makes connecting so easy. It's definitely reshaping how we form relationships, how we interact online.
Those lines between online social life and, real life social life get pretty blurry.
Totally. You might coordinate a game strategy with friends on Discord just as easily as you'd plan to meet up for coffee.
So what does that ease of connection mean for our social bonds? Are they different? Stronger? Weaker?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's not just keeping up with existing friends. People forge new connections in these games.
Based on shared interests within the game world itself, it's a whole new way to meet people.
Which taps into something pretty fundamental. Jane McGonigal said something like, games aren't just entertainment. They're deeply human, deeply social activities.
And mobile gaming is maybe the biggest example of that right now. Taking our social instincts into these digital spaces.
Yeah. So for you listening, it offers this really interesting angle on how social interaction is changing in the digital age. It's not just Facebook or Instagram. Games are a huge part of it.
Okay, now let's shift to something that might be a bit unexpected for some people. the potential mental health benefits.
Right. It's not always seen that way, but there's growing research.
It's not just mindless tapping, apparently.
No, some studies suggest engaging with certain mobile games can actually help cognitive function and, maybe surprisingly, relieve stress.
How does that work? The stress relief part.
Well, getting absorbed in a game can be a form of cognitive escapism. It lets you mentally switch off from daily worries for a bit. Think puzzle games that require focus. They can sort of push out other stressful thoughts.
That's got a mental break, a distraction.
Yeah, but it can be more than just passive distraction. Some games, especially the ones designed as brain training type games,
Ah, yeah, I've seen those.
research links those to actual improvements in things like attention, memory, maybe even problem-solving skills.
So playing a game could potentially be like a mini workout for your brain.
In some cases, potentially, yes. It suggests these activities aren't just time fillers. They might contribute positively to our cognitive fitness.
We found a quote from Dr. Rachel Cowart that sums this up nicely. She said the benefits aren't just the fun, but in the skills they build, the connections they foster, and the positive impact they can have on our overall well-being, including our mental health.
It really broadens the picture, doesn't it? Suggests that your downtime playing a game might actually have some unexpected upsides for how your mind works.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main takeaways from this deep dive.
First, that incredible accessibility. Mobile gaming reaching billions because of app stores, free to play. It's unprecedented.
Right. Then there's its deep integration into just, well, daily life. It's everywhere, connecting huge numbers of diverse people.
And we talked about how it's changing socialization, fostering communities, blurring online and offline connections.
And finally, those perhaps surprising potential mental health upsides, cognitive boosts and stress reduction from certain types of games.
Taken together, it paints mobile gaming as, well, a really significant force. It's changing entertainment, sure, but also how we connect and maybe even how we think.
Definitely more than just Snake on an old Nokia.
Worlds away.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. As these mobile games get even more sophisticated, more connected, more immersive, how might that reshape our social habits and maybe even our cognitive abilities even further down the line?
What new possibilities or maybe new challenges could emerge from this landscape that's, constantly evolving?
Yeah, definitely something to think about next time you pull out your phone for a quick game.